I had it that I had to close the legitimate GameCube, start the controller, and then restart the GameCube to find it. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You know, sometimes the GameCube just doesn't recognize that you're plugged in a controller. It'll like blow into the cartridge. You know, into the controller slot. Also, I left it open. XD. There we go. My binds are incomplete. I don't have a down bind. Somehow. How did I end up with that? There we go. Time to collect some snacks. No! Fucked up. I really should learn how to run this game again. When I ran it, record was like 26 minutes or something. I think record is 16 minutes now. The route is completely different, and there are like huge new tricks. I should spend like a day and just relearn it. It'd be fun. Yeah, there's some really, really big routing skips. There's one called Creepy Early. It's the biggest one. And it lets you get to Creepy early. I know. Innovative naming. But that helps a lot because it skips a ton of snack gates. So you could skip a whole bunch of levels because you don't need to get the Scooby snacks. By super fun, probably like hyper painful because the trick is hard. And I'm bad. I've also always wanted to learn Hundo in this game, like 100%. Because it's a collectathon, bro. You're gonna not run Hundo on a collectathon? That's just sad. Ever consider playing the PS1 Bugs Bunny game? No, can't say I have. That sounds legitimately awful. The I don't think there are any good games on the PS1. They're hot take. 3D motion games. I don't think there's a single good one on the PS1. Like platformers or action games or racing game, like anything that involves 3D graphics in a like open environment of some sort. I don't think there are any good ones on the PS1. I could be wrong, having never owned a PS1, but they all look bad. Like most PS2 games that are like that are bad. Let alone PS1 games, you know? I can only imagine how bad it gets. Like the best we got's like Silent Hill 1. And Silent Hill 1's kind of a mess. I've heard Ape Escape could be okay. But I'm not even sure that's PS1. I played an Ape Escape game, but it was on PS2. MGS1's pretty good. Doesn't look very good. What's up, Hively? I don't know. Metal Gear Solid is that game franchise that I know of because everyone says that it's so good, and then all they do is talk about the cutscenes. And I'm like, whoa, 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 bucko, wait a second. I thought you said this game was good. Why are we talking about cutscenes? What about the gameplay? How's that? Does it have Scooby Snack Gates? And warp gates and double jump? I think not. Obviously, MGS1 worse than Scooby Doo. This game got really good game watch. What does that mean? Is the cutscene things valid from MGS4? I legit never hear anyone talk about MGS gameplay. Anytime anyone talks about Metal Gear Solid, they're always talking about the lore, the story, and the cutscenes. I don't think I've ever heard someone be like, man, I love Metal Gear Solid gameplay. It's so fun. My favorite part is X. I couldn't even tell you what X is because no one ever talks about the gameplay. I don't make games like this anymore because every game needs to be a 80-hour open world RPG experience. A 10-hour licensed game collectathon is not it. Oh, I was joking about you, about the MGS gameplay. That's fair. But like, where is it? People talk about it? I've never seen anyone talk about it. I don't think I've ever heard anyone describe MGS as fun. People will say that it's good, but I've never heard anyone say that it was fun. I want my games to be good and fun. Like, sure, if it wants to be some crazy art piece, go for it, but it should be fun at the same time. Speedrunners will say it's fun. Not true. Have you ever heard a speedrunner talk about their speed game? Fun is not something they describe it as. Usually, it's somewhere along the lines of complete toxic AIDS cancer or something. Played MGS5 and it was fun. Don't people not like MGS5 for some reason? In the end, it's an opinion, and my opinion is objectively true. Because I'm the one who hit start streaming today. Nah, I'm just kidding. Guys, let me bait you. Come on. Someone get angry. Quit being so reasonable. Why are you taking after me? Quit being so mild-mannered, alright? Get into a fight. I am hesitant to play Metal Gear Solid, though. I have never done it. I don't think I'm gonna like it, personally. I'll get around to it one day, though. No, I suck. That's a big death. My timing is all off because I missed the snap box here. I risked it all. I jumped immediately anyways. Oh, I'm supposed to jump and then double jump. So I already jumped the first jump. I played too much Doom Dark Ages. I'm expecting my second jump to just come out, even though, yeah. In Dark Ages, you'd never lose your first jump. Even if you just run off a platform, you'll still have it. For some reason, I'm conflating Scooby Doo Night of 100 Frights and Doom the Dark Ages. But, you know, all good. As long as you're not going in with sky high expectations, you won't be disappointed. I'm expecting to not be annoyed by the story or the amount of story. That might be sky high expectations, honestly. That might be asking too much. I'm not sure. To be fair, those two games do have very similar looking protagonists. Scooby Doo and Doom. Yeah, it's true. I'm getting my ass eaten by a fish. I died. This has been a bad run. I can't wait till we get to GGS. That's going to be quite something. Pretty washed? Yeah, it's rough, man. I thought watching Coley play this game often would make me better. It might have made me worse, actually. Shout out Coley. It's the worst game I've ever played. I don't know. I honestly, like, unironically, this might sound weird because I'm such a hater. I'm not much of a hater. I don't tend to keep track of things that I dislike because why would I do that? You know? I try to focus on the positives. That being said, the worst game I've ever played, I really fucking hated RE7. It might have been the worst experience I've ever had with a video game. Actually. Only rivaled by Ninja Gaiden Sigma. That might be the worst game I've ever played. I hated them both for very different reasons. I hated RE7 because it's not a video game. It's a walking sim with a bad story. And I hated Ninja Gaiden Sigma because it is a video game, but it's just made exactly wrong. So, like, opposite sides of the spectrum, but pure vitriol from me on either side. I never played Black, but I don't think I'd like Ninja Gaiden Black that much more. But some of the most annoying things about Sigma were Sigma exclusive things, to be fair. What about RE8? It's whatever. It's a snooze fest. But it's not like bad, per se. Dude, it's so amazing. Nah. You're entitled to your opinion, but you also watch my stream recreationally, so we all know you have bad taste, my friend. There's no hiding it. Oops, I fell. Hello, fish. Thoughts on the RE9 teaser? I don't like Resident Evil games. I don't care. Not gonna play it. At least not on stream. I'll probably play it with my girlfriend. My problem with Ninja Gaiden is that it's an action game that doesn't have very much player control. There's no lock-on button. And it's really hard to target, or like, it's really hard to have precise control over what your character's actually doing. I don't like dial combos. So combo strings that unlock super moves that can only be done after doing a certain amount of combos is just not fun. I hate it, personally. So like, for example, if you want to do the Azuna drop, you have to do like light, light, heavy, light, heavy, light, heavy, light jump attack or some shit. And it's like, I just want to press 2 buttons and do an Azuna drop whenever I want. I don't like the game dictating that, oh, I can only do it on certain spots. And that's just not fun. Like, I can do the full ass combo to do that, but that's not enjoyable. And not being able to lock on and direct my attacks exactly where I want to go just makes me feel like I'm playing in a sea of floatiness that is just not enjoyable. And then on top of that, the encounter design is, it's built like a gacha. It's built like a series of circumstances that are set up to put you in like, haha, gotcha situations instead of it being like actually skill based. They put you in a bunch of like unreactable situations and situations that you can't reasonably like learn from without having like already gotten your shit rocked in by it. Like the only way that you like, there's a whole bunch of examples like that. Like the ghost fish are just complete bullshit and you just are gonna get your ass eaten by them over and over and over again. And there really isn't a good counter, at least not an intuitive one. Not one that you can really figure out through normal gameplay. And so like the game feels like it's not supposed to be challenging in a way where you have a lot of tools, but you have to use those tools effectively. It feels like it's built in a way where you are just like shit on constantly for stuff that's not your fault, and they don't really give you adequate tools to defend yourself, but you're supposed to like brute force find your way through like those encounters, and that's supposed to feel satisfying. But I don't feel satisfaction from that. I just get frustrated at the game because it's like, you're just not giving me tools that are adequate for the situation. And that's not my fault, that's your fault. And they'll do really stupid shit like, here's a direct example. The empowered Alma fight or whatever, like halfway through the game, it's a pretty hard boss fight. And you beat it, right? Like, hell yeah, I beat this boss fight, sick. There's no save after you beat the boss fight, and you are met with a brand new enemy that there's 2 of that you can only kill in a specific way right afterwards. And if you die on that encounter, it's a hard encounter, and you've never seen that enemy before, and there's no save after you beat the Alma boss fight. So if you die on that encounter, you have to redo the Alma boss fight. It's like one of the harder boss fights in the game, and you have to completely start it over from scratch if you don't first try these enemies you've never fought before afterwards. And it's in an entirely different chapter. And then you have stuff like, there's a move in that game called Flying Swallow. It's easily the best move in the whole game. It's a jump attack that does a downward swipe, and it has a chance of like decapitating regular enemies, so you can insta-kill them. And it's super good against every boss in the game as well. It's just a really useful move. The move is literally random. Like, I'm not kidding. The boss's enemies can just decide to parry it, and it has a random chance to miss. Like, you can actually do a boss, and bosses have like stun phases, and hit the boss into a stun phase. And if you lose the dice roll, even though the boss is completely stunned, if you do Flying Swallow, it has a chance to unstun itself and parry it. Like, what kind of action game has RNG attacks? And like, obviously the design philosophy there is to make something that's really punishing and brutal and not care about it being like a fair or intuitive experience, which is just like not fun for me. I like really challenging things, but I like when things that I'm doing that are challenging because the execution or the know-how is difficult, not because the game is literally fucking random. It's like actually so dumb. And they'll do stuff like, yeah, give you the best tool in the entire game, which is Flying Swallow, but then make it random. And it becomes more random at higher difficulties. The higher difficulty you are, the less chance it has to hit. What's up, David? Thanks, man. Glad you enjoyed. So like, wow. I don't know, it's just dumb.
Thank you.
Yo, Solar, thank you so much for the $2, man. I appreciate that. Would I do DMD 100% again? Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to. Honestly, not even for the better time, although I could make it a lot better now because all the new strats, but just so that I get a VOD of it where I'm not so tilted the whole time, hopefully. That'd be nice. 'Cause I am pissed in that VOD. I'm so mad. Like, I feel bad. Because it's like easily my greatest accomplishment in gaming, but the VOD is like unwatchable for some people because I'm just balding at people that are baiting me. Ouch.
Would you reattempt DMC DMD 100% for a better time?
I know, I usually don't bald that hard, but I was pissed. That's not even the worst part about Ninja Gaiden Sigma from my experience. But the worst part is that you use healing items a lot in Ninja Gaiden, you know? And at the end of the game, there's a boss rush. And the game doesn't really tell you that the boss rush is coming, but there is a shop right before the boss rush. So you could do a shop, you know? Actually, I take that back. There is not a shop before the boss rush. There is a... Okay, so there's a giant tower that you have to climb up. And this tower has ghost fish on like every floor. Ghost fish being a complete bullshit enemy that you are going to use a ton of healing items on. No matter how good you are at the game, basically. So you have ghost fish up and down the tower. And at the very bottom of the tower is the last shop of the game. The last spot you can buy items. And there's no indication that there's going to be a boss rush or anything, or that that's going to be the last shop. And so you have the last shop followed by a sea of ghost fish, and then a boss rush. And then after the boss rush is the final boss. And there is no shops. There is no shops the entire time. Through the ghost fish section, through the boss rush, through the final boss, nothing. And there's no indication that there's not going to be shops anymore after that point either. So what happened to me is I didn't really feel like I needed a shop before the Ghost Fist section. Got to the top, realized that there was a boss rush there. It was like, oh shit, I definitely need items because I used all of my items on the Ghost Fish. The only way I can get the items is to go all the way back down and then back up past the Ghost Fish. So I tried to do that, did it, basically broke even. And then the boss rush, you have to do without any items. And then if you use all your items on the boss rush, then you have to do the final boss without items. And the final boss basically insta-kills you. It's one hit usually, maybe two, if you get hit by an easy attack. And so the worst part about that is there's about a 1.5 minute long platforming section that you have to do every time you die to the boss. So you die to the final boss in like one hit and then have to do 1.5 minutes of platforming just so you could go back to die in the boss in like one hit to do another 1.5 minutes of platforming. And the boss is super aggro, so you like barely get a chance to even learn the boss. And you can't buy items to try to make the boss fight easier. You literally can't even go back at that point. So you have this huge run back every single time you die, and you can't even buy items to like try to help you through the fight at all. It's just complete dog shit. Like just this huge run back every single time. I was so mad. It takes forever to learn how to fight the boss because you just get one shot basically. And you can't get items, and you have to do this huge run back every time. It's so rough, dude. Yeah, I hate Ninja Gaiden. It's actually an awful video game. And like, I'm sure a lot of the bullshit I could like learn how to get better at, you know, how to like mitigate the bullshit. And then it wouldn't be as big of a deal on subsequent playthroughs and stuff. But I just have absolutely zero desire to do so. Like, why would I do that? If the initial gameplay experience is so bad, why would I bother to play more to get better, right? I just wouldn't. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not gonna keep playing the game when the game is just setting me like a whole bunch of gotchas. Like, haha, this chest actually has ghost fish in it. Haha, this is the last shop in the game. Haha, if you die, you have to do the previous mission's boss fight again. Really what I think it is, Ascenium, is that, like, it's one of those things where at the time the game came out, like, that is one of the only action games that you could get, and people just brace through the bullshit to learn to eventually like it. Which, like, is fine. And like I said, I think I would also learn to like it if I just decided to bang my head against the bullshit for long enough. But, like, it's not fun. So why would I do that? Like, I'm all for a game being difficult and needing to learn it and stuff. In fact, I prefer when games are. But, like, the process of learning it and being taught it by playing the game should be an enjoyable one. And it should be, I should feel like it is reasonably possible for me to intuit what I'm supposed to do and then do it within a couple of tries and not just bash my head against it, you know? But I feel like the only option in a game like Ninja Gaiden is just bash your head against it. You got stuff like Ghost Fish or a million enemies on screen and no way to direct your attacks. This trick is impossible. Alright, lock in, streamer. Lock in, streamer. Do GGS. You can do it. Nice. Cool. Just don't die. Cool. Never collected snacks, huh? Yeah, Skyback, it's been a minute. Yeah, sometimes I see that with a lot of games, but it's kind of hard to know how much is self-gaslighting and how much is actually discovering something interesting. Like for me, Blitz is a good example of an enemy that sucks until you master it. Just no one masters it. Yeah, that's fair. See, but I really like, you look at DMC1's enemy design, for example, and I feel like it's really intuitive. And every enemy has like this puzzle-like element to them where they have hard counters and stuff. And there's even like the built-in notes system to tell you what those counters are. For fuck's sake, Secret Mission 1 is literally a tutorial for how to do like critical hits against one of the enemies. It's not perfectly executed, but you know, it's there. There are systems in place to tell you. And I think that it's a lot easier to know when you're doing something right versus when you're doing something wrong in a game like Devil May Cry, because you have so much more control of your character. You know what I mean? Like when you're in a game like Ninja Gaiden and you don't have a direct lock on and there are like 20,000 enemies in every room, it's like, it's hard to tell what you're doing exactly that's wrong. Whereas in DMC1, for example, like you get direct feedback and you have direct control. So like everything you're doing is directly a result of the inputs that's happening. And it's easier to tell what's going on because there's less happening. Yeah, I mean, it's not always perfectly executed, but DT explosion is taught to you in DMC3. It's just the tutorial's bad. Like when you first get DT, it tells you about Flux and how to use it, but it's just not very useful the way it's described there, especially because they give you that tutorial introduction when you only have 3 stocks. You can't even really do it. Well, a good game should be able to teach you those mechanics intuitively without having there be a training mode. Like the gameplay itself should be enough to learn how to play it. That's good game design. G. I think that's fair if a game's deep enough. Yeah, well, I'm not asking for like, I don't expect that after my first playthrough of Ninja Gaiden, I'm going to be like a god gamer that's playing like DMC4 high level style play levels of control over the game. But like, you should have enough knowledge to be able to beat the game. You know what I mean? That's what I'm asking for. It's just like the game should be able to teach you enough by playing it to like even be able to complete it. GG's. That's Scooby. That wasn't too bad. For all the deaths, it really wasn't that slow. GG's. Nice cute little marathon. I think I'm gonna play some CS. Now that I finished the marathon? You don't get to know who he really is. You never will, dude. It's the endless debate. You'll never know who the mastermind really is. Who I think's gonna win the major? I think that Vitality's gonna win the major, but I want it to be Mongols or FaZe.